Hey,
Hi.
thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, you too. Yeah, so you have a really, really cool TikTok. Like, I love your content. It's
Thanks
awesome.
so much. I love your music.
You? Yeah, when did you start TikTok?
So I was one of the people who started back in like the beginning of quarantine.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would say like late March, early April. I kind of started it as like a quarantine hobby. And I started as a watcher, and then I kind of was watching other people's videos and I was like, I could do this.
Yeah, totally. For sure. And did you kind of like really, did you intentionally grow your TikTok? Like, want to grow, or more like it just kind of happened?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I did kind of go into it with the intent of gaining a following, but I never could have imagined that it would be as big as it is. I
Yeah.
kind of my like original goal was like if I can hit 10K, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of I hit 10K and I was like, well, let's try like something a little bigger now. And then it just kept
Yeah.
escalating from there.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. For other people who kind of want to grow on TikTok, what advice would you give to them?
Oh gosh. I the biggest advice I give to people is like good lighting.
Yeah,
So any TikTok that has good lighting just automatically does well. Like you don't ever see anything on the For You page that's like
yeah,
dark lighting or like you can't really see the person. So that's always a big one. I think live streaming also can help your account grow tremendously. Once you hit that like 1K mark and you're able to stream, even if there's not that many people on it first. It's kind of scary at first because you're like, you don't know what to do,
yeah,
or like, is anyone going to ask me questions, or like, but I think you get more and more used to it as you go, and it definitely boosts your engagement in your posts. The more often you can stream and interact with your followers, kind of more like in a one-on-one
yeah,
scenario.
totally. And then, would you say TikTok's your favorite social media platform, or do you maybe like YouTube or Instagram?
I would say it's my favorite, but I feel like I'm really biased because I have a following. So I also have always really loved Instagram. I
Yeah,
used to have a fan page on Instagram back when I was like in middle school that had a ridiculous following. So I think my loyalty lies with Instagram, but TikTok is definitely my favorite at the moment.
yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
then, to you, would you say you kind of have a niche, or want to have a niche, or kind of just want to do everything?
Oh gosh, doesn't everyone want to do everything?
Yeah.
But I think to kind of gain a following on TikTok, you kind of have to put yourself into a certain niche. So it starts out like it's kind of started out as just like whatever I wanted to post, like comedy things.
Yeah.
And my first viral video was it was like a drinking game, whether it's like you're drinking with chocolate milk or like for adults because I'm 22, so adults like drinking with
Yeah.
alcohol. Um, so once that went viral, I kind of made that my niche. I was like, if this
Yeah.
is doing really well right now, I want to gain more of a following, more popularity. So I'm going to keep doing that. So that was my niche for a while. And then it was Harry Potter for a while. I just kind of, any video that went viral or did really well, I would start doing things similar to that, which would help my growth on the platform like incredibly. Um, I would say my current niche and my like kind of end goal niche would be like musical theater, so
Yeah.
singing and acting and dance, because that is what I go to school for and that's what I'm the most interested in. Um, so I would say theater or like acting would be my niche, my current niche, but I think you kind of have to keep people on their toes. So that could be my niche now, but who knows like a month from now what it will be.
Yeah, I think it's so much more fun though to like keep people guessing.
Yeah, it's more fun for the followers and for like the as the creator to, kind of spice it up every once in a while because no one wants to see the same thing over and over again. They'll just inevitably get bored of it.
Yeah, for sure. And then
Yeah.
you have merch, and your merch is super, super cute.
Thank
What
you.
made you want to do merch?
Oh gosh, I always said the merch started kind of as a joke as well, because I always said, like, I was like, I won't release merch till I hit 500K, like thinking that I would never, like in a million years, hit that kind of crazy milestone on TikTok. I still haven't. I'm still really close,
Yeah.
but I decided to release it. Once I saw that I was getting even remotely close, I started working closely with a friend of mine who's a graphic designer, and it was just all so surreal. Like, I could not believe that we were designing like logos of my TikTok name or my name to be like put out for purchasing. It's just crazy. Um, but yeah, it was just, it was a thing that I never thought I would do, but I'm glad I did. And the process was so much fun, and we're talking about doing different merch launches, like for the different kind of seasons. So in the fall, like we were thinking about doing an astrology themed one, or like in the summer I plan on moving to Los Angeles, so we were going to do kind of like a LA themed launch merch, for those coming months as well. um but as far as what made me want to release it, I don't know. I think it's always a good idea to put out merch like once you have a certain amount of followers, because you begin to gain like a fan base, and the least I can do is like be like, oh, like here you go, you can buy this to support me, or like something like that, because that's all the fan pages want to do, and all the fans want to do is support your work and support your content, and that's a way that they can support me, and I can also give something back to them.
Yeah, totally. And then do you have, I know this is a hard question, but do you have a favorite piece of merch of your
Oh,
own, or kind of just like all of them?
I love all of them. I really do. My favorite is probably, we have like a pride themed one. It says like Beth Simps in rainbow like letters, and then it's, you can get it on like white or black. And it's a cropped hoodie too, which I
Oh,
love.
that's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just love anything cropped, and like the fact that it's like a fleece hoodie is, but I also like that it's pride, because
Yeah.
representation, and I always preach, like acceptance.
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, totally. And then you mentioned you're moving to LA, which is so exciting. What
Yeah.
brings you to LA?
Sorry.
What brings you to LA?
So me and my friend decided earlier on in the year, we wanted to move to LA, and it was way before I even started TikTok or gained a following on TikTok. Um, but I'm really interested in musical theater, as I mentioned, but I'm not as interested in the kind of Broadway aspect of it anymore. I used to be, but it's kind of shifted more towards like, I'm really interested in film acting, or like background dancing, for like movie musicals are really big right now. And so I would love to go and audition for stuff like that. I've also lived in Chicago the past 5 years, and the winters here are intense. So I'm excited to move to somewhere where it's kind of warm all the time, and you don't really
Yeah,
have to worry about the winter.
totally.
Yeah, exactly. And then it just so happened that social media kind of became a big passion of mine as well,
Mhm.
after I was deciding to move there. So it just worked really well,
Yeah.
because I know that's where a lot of other TikTokers kind of go to create content.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I know
Me
you live
too.
there now. That's awesome. Do you
Yeah.
like it?
Yes, a lot for sure. Yeah, I had a friend who actually lived here, and then she moved to Chicago, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's snowing!" And she'd like never seen snow before. She was like, "There are four seasons. What is
Oh
happening?"
my gosh. She'd never seen snow?
Yeah, she'd never seen snow before.
That's crazy. That's like the most intense winter too that you could think of, and the winds are just, they don't call it the Windy City for nothing, because like in the winter the winds from the lake just like swarm, and it's freezing. It's
Yeah,
so bad. I
yeah,
hope she adjusted fine.
yeah. She got used to it, but it was definitely an adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still really windy here. I don't know why.
In LA?
Yeah,
Really?
really windy. But luckily, like it's there's sun. The sun's
Yeah.
pretty strong, so that kind of like overtakes it. for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's like the number one thing I should know before like moving?
I would say uh, be prepared for traffic. Like you
Okay.
kind of have to budget your time well, because
Yeah,
like the traffic's no joke. It's
really?
like yeah. Well, it depends where you are, but if you're really like in the city, it can
Yeah,
take a really long time to
just
just
to get
like do
somewhere.
one errand.
That's crazy. I'm
Yeah.
glad I know that.
Yeah, but it worked. You just have to budget your time well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And then like so you talk about like TV shows and
Mhm.
doing movies and you seem to like really enjoy that stuff. Do you
Yeah.
have like a top 5 favorite TV shows or movies?
Gosh. It's so hard to pick like just five.
Yeah.
Um, but I do have a couple that like I will always go back and rewatch. I love New Girl.
Oh, I
Um,
love that show.
Such a good show. And it's a show that you can
Yeah.
always kind of go back to and
Yeah,
watch and binge. And like you can start at any point in any of the seasons.
totally.
And it's just good and it like
Yeah.
makes you feel at home and all fuzzy. Um, I love this show called BoJack Horseman.
Okay.
It's like an animated adult swim kind of show on Netflix, and it's the way it depicts mental illness is the most accurate representation I've ever seen done on like any television show ever.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
so it does deal with very dark subject matters, but it deals with it in very a very good and accurate way. Um, and it's funny, like they're all like animated like horses and
Yeah.
stuff. Um, oh my gosh, I love reality TV as well. So Love Island is up there on the list. Big Brother is
Yeah.
another. I also my guilty pleasure is watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah. I
I
love it too.
yeah, I feel so weird because I'm like, why do I love watching these rich people complain about like their lives and stuff? But it's just so funny, and I think they're so entertaining.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that was five. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah,
yeah,
in 2021, obviously it's coming up so soon, which is
yeah.
insane. I don't know how it's so soon. But do you have any like goals or things you want to do in 2021?
Oh, I have so much I want to do in 2021. But a lot of it, like, a lot of it kind of depends on where we're at as like a
Yeah.
country, so like there's only so much we can do within reason right now, and we're kind of having to figure out all these new ways of creating. So because I do theater, and all the theaters are going to be shut down for a while, we're having to look at like self tapes and like singing over Zoom. I've had to do so many auditions like in this format, which
Yeah.
is just like it's so weird, and like adjusting to that, as opposed to like actually being in a room with someone and being able to connect with that person, um, is really hard. So
Do you prefer being in person over Zoom or
absolutely.
other things?
Yeah, I'm such an extrovert, so I love having like that human connection with someone and being able to like to see their face and feel kind of like their energy,
Yeah.
because my energy like bounces off of the other energy I'm with, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Totally.
So it's a lot easier when they're like sitting next to you or they're right next to you to have a conversation and to just like really feel that emotionally.
Totally.
um so yeah, so that's been rough, but that's been rough for everyone.
Yeah.
um but moving forward in 2021, I think I want to continue on the path of like growing my TikTok, growing my social media, seeing where that takes me,
Yeah.
um, because TikTok is most likely not going to last forever,
Yeah.
um, but social media will for
Yeah.
a second. So I don't know. I have absolutely loved the opportunities I've been presented with thus far in like becoming an influencer. That's
Yeah.
still so weird to like think about, but just like connecting with brands and gaining a following that like looks up to you is
Yeah.
so awesome. So I would definitely like to try and grow that.
Mhm.
Um, I want to keep thinking outside the box content wise.
Mhm.
You know, like keep people on their feet. I don't want to always be doing the same sort of thing, putting out the same sort of videos. I want it to be a little different
Yeah.
every few weeks or so, or every few months or so.
Yeah, totally.
Um, and then moving to LA, I just want to again, I want to network. I want to meet people, but it all depends on, you know,
Yeah.
safety precautions, like how safe it will be to do that. But
Right.
I just want to meet so many people. I want to collaborate. I want to, you know, make TikToks or YouTube videos with other creators, kind of like we're
Yeah.
doing now. But yeah, I think that's so awesome. So as much of that as I can do, adjusting to a new city is always difficult. So that's kind of a goal in itself, is just like adjust to LA, make sure, you know, this is a place I feel comfortable. I feel like I belong here. And it's not just kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Because I feel like moving to LA is kind of like a coin toss. Like
Yeah.
you don't really know until
Totally.
you get there. Um, but yeah, I think just growth would be the main word for that. Auditioning, just seeing what opportunities are out there, taking advantage of every opportunity
Yeah.
um, that you're given. Because right now, like any opportunity that we're given is like a good one, like is incredible. I'm
Totally.
super grateful for that.
Yeah, and then content wise, like moving to LA, like gives such good content. That
Yeah, I keep thinking that. I'm like, whenever I'm at kind of like a roadblock, I'm like, but when I'm there, it'll be so much easier. I feel like I can pull inspiration from not only other people, but like other places or other like, I feel like the ideas will just come to me.
yeah,
I
and it's
don't
a
know.
place to be creative for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah. And then a couple months ago, when TikTok almost got banned, were you like really, really terrified or
Yeah,
like upset?
for some reason, I did not, it didn't sound real. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was going to be real, but there was also something in the back of my mind that was like, but if this really kind of stinks for you. Like, um, but, and there was a few scares too. I think the first one I didn't take too seriously. And then for some reason, the second one, I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know. Like, if it didn't work the first time, maybe it is going to work this time. So, and I didn't even have that much of a following at the time
Mhm.
of the bands. I had like it was like an all right following, but it wasn't like almost a half a million.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it definitely did
Yeah.
scare me a little bit. But anything after the second, I feel like there was like 5 or 6 TikTok band scares.
I
Um,
know, it's crazy.
so which is yeah, weird. But anything after the second one, I I kind of brushed off. I was like, if it didn't happen the first couple times, I feel like it's not gonna happen
Yeah.
again. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
but I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like we're probably good
Yeah, I think
as
it's
far as
pretty
TikTok
good.
goes for I would say at least a year, probably longer, but like at the very least, it'll be around for a while.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and then you perform, which is so awesome. So
Yeah.
how long have you been performing?
Oh man, I started performing in 6th grade. So I don't know how old that would have made me, like 13. No. Oh my gosh, probably younger, like 12, 11 or 12 or something like that. Yeah, I used to do plays all throughout middle school and like musicals. I was on the speech and drama team for
Well,
a few years. I loved that. Um, and then I think the opportunity that like really made me kind of focus on performing as a career, and where I was like, I love it this much that I'm gonna go to college for it, that I'm gonna make it like devote my entire life to it. Um, was I think I was 14 and I got the opportunity with my dance studio to dance in the Macy's parade. There's actually pictures back here
oh,
of me dancing with like 700 other people in the Macy's Day Parade.
Wow.
And I remember we were like walking down like the streets of New York, and I was just like looking at everyone, and I was like, I never want this feeling to go away.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the moment I like knew I have to do performing. I'm never gonna stop performing, no matter what that means for me, whether it's singing or dancing or acting or even creating content. Kind of falls into that category because you kind of are performing in a way,
Yeah.
um, which is crazy that I'm still doing it, and I want to continue to do that no matter what,
Yeah.
because it's what makes me happy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, do you have like a dream role for you? Like, would it be a musical role or
Yeah,
actual?
I've been obsessed lately. I've been obsessed with the Mean Girls musical.
Oh, wow.
Um, it's one of my favorites. Have you
I
listened to
love
it?
the movie, but I haven't seen the musical. But
You
I
would
love
love.
Broadway stuff, so I feel like
Yeah,
I really like it.
you should definitely listen to the musical. I think there might be bootlegs on YouTube of the
Yeah.
musical, if you want to watch it. But it's you wouldn't understand it very well if you haven't seen the movie, because all the iconic like quotes and the like exciting moments, and it's basically the movie but live on stage and with like some extra like songs and dance numbers. And the thing I really love about the musical is that it goes like so much more in depth to the characters. So like you don't get to see much about like Karen in the movie, or like Gretchen or Kevin, like any of these characters that are like kind of brushed over and they're kind of just like secondary characters. They all have their own songs in the musical, and you get like more into their heads. Um, so my dream role would probably be Janice, because she has one of the biggest like musical numbers in this show. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
one.
I think I've seen that. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's called I'd Rather Be Me.
Yeah.
Um, I've been like obsessively singing it all semester, like for my classes or just like on my own time. I just love it, and I connect with that character so much. And I feel like you could tell like our vibes are very similar.
Yeah.
I really connect with Janice. So right now that is definitely a dream role of mine. I would give anything to be in that show.
That's so cool. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Sometimes I think musicals are better than the movies. Like whenever they make movies into musicals.
Yeah. I
Like,
think they are too. I don't know if maybe it's just because there's the extra music and the
yeah.
dance and the showiness of it
Yeah.
all.
I love them so much. I think they're better.
Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, totally. And then where can people find you on TikTok, Instagram?
Oh yeah. My TikTok is at Beth Simps. My Instagram is Bethany_Simpson. And then my YouTube is also just my name, Bethany Simpson. But I think I'm like one of the fourth or fifth ones that pop up. So you have to keep scrolling a little bit, but you'll find my face as the profile picture eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, of course. This was so much fun. Thanks again for having me. It was great getting to meet you, and I love your music, and
Thank you.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I love your TikTok. You have such cool TikTok.
Thank you. Thank you. That makes me so happy. I can't wait to use one of your songs,
Oh,
hopefully, in one of my
thanks.
videos soon. I would love to.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thanks for nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.